Words. Here
The Intergalactic Aerospace Expo for 2025 is done, and you will not believe the numbers that Star Citizen
This is insane. Look at the bar above me. Look how much they overshot. Man, I totally got this wrong. I am not afraid to admit when I got this wrong. This is my field. This is what I look at the analytics of these companies, and I speculate as to where I think the price is going to be in terms of the revenue numbers. And this revenue just overshot. I thought they would hit like 100. Do you remember? I was saying like 105 million. I didn't think that they were going to beat 2024's numbers. Put a 1 in here if you remember. I'm like, I don't know. At the very beginning of this year, I'm like, I think they're going to hit like 105. I have no problem saying that I was wrong about this, but I was way wrong about this, man. Like they shot past, dude. And this just speaks volumes to, this is like kudos to Cloud Imperium. They are nailing it. They are getting the template down. They are synergizing the new events with ship sales in such a perfect manner that you can see it in the numbers. They are exploding now. I did talk about this earlier that they need to start putting like DLC type mission content where they're bringing in new people with new events. I was talking about that in like 2023, and I was like, oh, we got to do this. We got to do this. Like this will be perfect. Boom. That I was right about, but I didn't realize they were going to go full board with this. And like, look at that. Look at these numbers. It's ridiculous. There's no denying they have the recipe down.
managed to pull in for this year. Let's take a look. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. I am Montoya. Some simply insane, incredible numbers that Star Citizen has managed to pull in. We'll take a deeper dive into this. I also want to take a look at a great post put on Reddit by Greg Red, who did a wonderful breakdown of the numbers and what they did and when. So let's start first at this over here. This is the ccugame.app website, which tracks the funding, and they've done a great job over the years. Thank you for keeping this up, guys. It's great. And I want to take a step backwards to the early days of 2012 when we were just innocent and most of us had a lot more hair on our heads. First of all, also welcome to all the new arrivals to Star Citizen. There's a bunch of new accounts created. I'll take a look at that too.
I'm not feeling well. I look like a leper right now, Connie.
So 2012 was the Kickstarter, the fundraiser, right? And 2013 is when I came in, when I realized that this was actually going to happen and they were going to pull it in. Now, 2016...
Yeah, not that people care, but like just so people realize when they're watching this video on YouTube, if I decide to put it out, because YouTube's completely squelched me. But if I do actually decide to put this highlight out and you're wondering why I look like the Unabomber, it's because I look like the Toxic Avenger. Like I'm very nasty looking, so I'm trying to cover up all portions of my body right now.
Dean was onto the call year. Like we thought the game was probably going to come out the next year around then. And when the game was not going to come out, totally funding actually dropped. Now this was very, very concerning. The only way that Star Citizen was going to make this game, the only way CIG was going to make this game was if funding continued at an acceptable rate where they were able to afford to keep on developing.
Yeah, I think that's acceptable.
Funding dropped or slowed down.
I think it's pretty acceptable.
It was kind of shaky. So 2017 was a bit of a shaky year. But then you see 2018 kind of picked up a little bit. 2019 picked up a bit. What happened after then is just, it's a miracle. Well, wasn't really, because 2019 was when COVID showed up. Now everyone was staying home. If you remember, PC prices rocketed because everyone was buying PCs. They're working from home now.
I'll say another thing too about 2020. It exploded for another reason, where the amount of people that eventually came to content creation also exploded. So you had people from COVID who had nothing to do, and they're like, hey, let me just start content creation. The market became saturated with Star Citizen content creators in 2020. It was like an explosion of Star Citizen content creators hit the scene in 2020. And I know that because I started in 2015 when the only people that were covering it was myself, gray-headed gamer, board gamer, noobifier. Oh my God, what is it, dude? This is Tactical Advance. which I don't even know if Tactical Advance, ST Youngblood, and myself. It was like 7 people. Like when in 2014, 2015, when I first started covering this, it was literally like 7 people that were covering Star Citizen. And you could see it in the numbers. I mean, like, look, I mean, they were only doing like 20 million, 36 million, 34 million, 37 million. It was just starting. Like literally, it was a fledgling company, and everybody at that time was saying, "Oh, this is a scam. This is a scam." Was at its height. The scam and all the propaganda against the title was at at peak mode. It's still here, even after you can see the explosion in revenue. It's still here, which is don't even understand how people are still monetizing their fan base with this game's never coming out type content. When you have a company that did $145 million worth of revenue. And then you could say, well, like DG, what about Enron? Like I get that sometimes, and it bugs me. Like the people are trying to compare Cloud Imperium, a game development company, to an Enron is absolutely the wrong analogy. There's no comparison there. Like we actually are seeing work being done by real people, and we're playing the game. Like, don't get that.
And a lot of this was kind of attributed to the fact that people are staying home more and maybe playing more games. So 2020 kind of had a massive bump. If you look at the increase, was plus 8%, plus 26%, and then suddenly 2020 plus 65% from the previous year. And really, it hasn't slowed down since then. Every year when I take the end of year tally on what the income has been for the year, I always say there's no guarantee that next year will be higher. There's always a risk that things may slow down, which could negatively affect the project. And it just hasn't happened. I'm glad to be wrong.
And he was wrong too. Did Montoya also undershoot the numbers? He probably did the same thing I did. I was saying like 105 million. I say they're going to have a hard time hitting 2024's numbers. Sometime, I don't know, I want to say probably after spring, like going May, June, July-ish, beginning of summer, when I started realizing that they were just like pumping out content, pairing it with ships, and they had an interesting recipe that was doing great for them. I realized that maybe, in fact, they were going to beat 2024, but I did not think by this stretch. I mean, this is a huge increase over last year's numbers. It's crazy.
So 2021 rolls around, plus 10% over that. 2022 blows everyone out the water. And we could already see by the month of May that was coming in ahead of 2019 when the big bang began there, right? May of 2022 already did more than 2019, and it just exploded. Now, marketing had really hit their stride at this point. The IAE and the other Luminalia and other events they have really contributed to the increased sales of the ships.
I'm just doing some
2023 began kind of slow, but then November, December kicked in and pushed us forward. There was a very big October also. Let's jump forward to 2025. Now, I don't know what it was about the beginning of 2025 and onwards. Maybe it's just the influx of new... It wasn't even the influx of new citizens. Let's take a look at this number here, because I'm pretty sure... No, it wasn't. 2023 had the biggest influx of new arrivals. 2025 had a smaller amount right up to the month of May. So it wasn't new arrivals. It was existing Star Citizen backers basically pledging more. And January, record-breaking. February, March, every single month. May, explosive month.
I'm doing the math here. This is a almost 26% boost in revenue from last year's numbers. Like they increased by 26%. Almost like SaaS company, man. I mean, that is ridiculous growth on the revenue side of things. I can't wait to look at the quarterly, the P&L of the year of 2025. Like, I cannot wait to dive into the 2025 P&L, because I want to look to see what they did with the expenses. I want to make sure they're not going crazy on expenses, and I don't think they went too crazy, even though the people would say, well, what about the movie theater, DG? Or what about that coffee? What about that special coffee place in Manchester? I don't think those are huge expenses, by the way. So I cannot wait to dive into the
17% higher than the May before that. The month of June
what about the movie
comes
theater?
in 26% higher. Every single month for 2025 was a record-breaking month, I do believe. November, 57% bigger than the previous year. And
it's crazy. These numbers are crazy. And I think about Bucha. You guys remember Bucha from Sunk Cost Fallacy or Sunk Cost Galaxy? I have an interview on the channel. Nice guy. Really nice guy. You guys got to check it out. It was from like way back. I mean, like we're talking like 6 years ago or so. And he told me he was an early VC venture capital guy, got approached by Jared, went to a lunch with Jared and Chris, and wrote a check out for an early investment because there were like very, very early on, before even the Kickstarter, there were people who were putting money as investments into this. Man, I would have loved to have been one of those people. And Bucha pulled out sometime in 2017 and 2018. Let me tell you what, I'm sorry, Bucha. Like, I'm so sorry, dude, because like that was, don't shame him, Pepe. Don't shame him, but maybe a sad trombone. Maybe a sad trombone. Because Bucha, like, dude, Bucha. Listen, people have bad investments, bad trades. And this was not a great one for Bucha because it didn't turn out good for him. If he had kept his seed money in, holy shit, can you imagine the payout on something like this? Man, I wish I was an early VC on this. I wish I had the ability to write a huge check and man, you're rolling in some serious dough. If you're an early investor in this, holy shit.
We are only
4
days into December right now.
I would have put money in this.
And already this December is bigger than...
Diva says, who is Bucha? Look up costs. What's the name of that? Do you guys remember? Long time ago. He was a very big antagonist of the project. He didn't like the direction, and he made really good videos. I really enjoyed them. I like to look at other sides, and he made good content, and it's a good series. But I think his thesis was incorrect, obviously, as you can see here. And I'm just like, dude, he pulled his money out sometime in 2017, 2018, and I did an interview with him on the channel. And you should check that out. Type up sunk cost fallacy or something like that, or sunk cost galaxy or something to that nature, Diva. And I think you'll, and you spell it like this. It's Bootcha. And a nice dude. I mean, really nice guy. Like there were a lot of people on the channel that were giving him grief. And I was like, hey guys, try and be nice here and look at other points of view, other perspective. Sunken cost fallacy or something like that. Yeah, like it was a series of like 8 or 9 videos, and he was like poo-pooing it, and he was a good financial dude. Like he was great with numbers. So we both enjoyed talking the numbers, and we both kind of looked at it differently. So it was a really interesting interview, and I really appreciated his point of view. I really did, because nobody, I think, was talking about numbers at the time. Like, I think I was probably the first one that talked about the business side of things. Montoya, since started focusing on this too, which I appreciate his commentary as well on the financial side of things. I always appreciate when people step into the financial ring and talk about what they think in terms of the business model, because there really aren't a lot of people that get into it or that are knowledgeable about it. I would consider Montoya to be one person who is. So it was nice because I remember being the first guy to kind of just broach the topic of like, here's the numbers, here's the business. And then, a couple months later, I started seeing other content creators come in and try and do the same thing. I think this is important. Like some people think this is boring. Some people are like, oh, but I really think this is like the meat and potatoes of, will this game become a reality or not? And I always told people, like, I in 2017, I was a little bit negative. I actually was kind of negative towards the project. And if you watch older videos, you can see I'm very frustrated. It was a point in time where I was not happy with things that were happening in the game. And then right around the 2018, 2019 area, things started to shift as I started to delve into the numbers. And I really watched the numbers like a hawk up until about 2022. And once I went over a couple of the P&L reports, I went to Clearinghouse. I got the numbers on both sides of the pond, and you can see a lot of that on the channel where I discuss SIG financials. There's a whole playlist I have for SIG financials where I go into what concerns me, what I like, that nobody else is doing. And I thought that type of content was really important because nobody was doing it at the time. But right around 2022, I realized, hey, wait a second. I started to have this shift where I became much more positive because I started to realize that if they got the business where it needed to go and the revenues where it needed to go, that the probability of this game becoming a success would be much higher. And people don't want to talk about that because some people go, oh, well, this is really boring, DG. I can assure you, this is not boring at all, because these numbers are basically like a heart monitor. If you're looking at this is a strong heart right now. If you start to see like shrinking, that's normal. Contraction is normal. Eventually, they'll hit a moment of contraction. And they've been through contraction periods before and gotten through it, which is why I know that they're a strong company. But these numbers are super important because they will tell you if your game is going to become a success or not. And you can gauge any game that you're interested on whether the game's going to come out or not by if they're doing the right things inside the business.
2020, 6 million. Okay, we're on track.
Okay, cool, Aether.
6 million was the total for the entire month of December in 2020. The first 4 days of December right now are at 6 million. I have no doubt this is going to be a record-breaking year. The Christmas sales are going to come in. And
dude.
It doesn't
Christmas
even need to.
Even in.
There's no need for it to even have any sales at all for December because
you can quit right now
how much they've done this year. It's at 146 million.
Dude, they might finish north of 150. There's a very good possibility that we'll finish north of 150, man. That is insane. They are at $920 million. They are at the Billy mark. This is what I keep trying to tell people. At the Billy mark, things get very professional. Very professional.
CIG is well on the path to 1 billion. And I cannot wait. For the 1 billion mark to hit because every single urinalist, gamer, journalist out there is going to put out the same 1 billion raised, but there's no game. 1 billion game still in development.
He's right.
And I love ripping them apart in that because gamers, not the Star Citizen backers, but gamers in general are a very, very stupid bunch. They love to self-destruct themselves. And gaming journalists...
It's not, I'll tell you one thing that I noticed. It's not the gamers are stupid. It's the gamers are really passionate. They're passionate people and they're very short-term. Like, they're very short-term looking at the flashbang. Like, what's the latest news? Oh, God, we're all going to go down and die. Oh, the violins are playing on the Titanic. Oh, wait, what? Fireworks? Oh, my God. Oh, wow. Wow, everything's great. Oh, yeah. Oh, this fucking game's rock. Wait, what? Oh, my God. I mean, it's like very, like, gamers are just super passionate. It's not that gamers are stupid. Most gamers are not stupid. It's just that gamers are just, like, very short-term dilation time fixations. You know, like, that's why I always tell people, like, take a breath, step back. If you're somebody that's a fan of this game or somebody that's questioning the scale or what this game's trying to be, just first off, take a step back, take a big breath in, you know, look at it for what it is, right? just slow it down a little bit and look at the macro, you know.
Have to slam down potentially good game devs just to get headlines. And as much as they try, they slam down Star Citizen as much as they always do.
Because it pays them.
And they never manage to pull down. It just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger. They don't understand it. But if you are a backer of this game, you get it. You understand what's happening. People on the outside looking in, I think we all understand how it looks from the outside. But when you get in there and you actually play the game and you realize the foundation, the scaffolding of what they have, you see it. This is why you keep on backing. And I cannot give a better example, then
it's in the numbers.
I'm just finishing playing Dune Awakening right now. So I went to the grind. I really enjoyed the game. They got kind of problems with the end game. We'll talk about this in another video. But as soon as I'm done playing Dune, what do I do? Back to Star Citizen.
Yep.
How many times have you guys going to play other games?
Everything game.
And come right back to Star Citizen. Star Citizen is like that foundation. It's
always going to be there, and it's something that we understand what the scale of this is, which is everything. We want everything. It is the everything game. The numbers reflect the fact that it is, in fact, the everything game. I've been calling this the everything game since 2015. And every single year, people are like, DG's crazy. And every single year, the revenues keep shooting up. And it's because it's the everything game. It's going to have everything we want in it. It's the first game that will have everything that we want in it. And it's going to happen on a slow march. It's something at this point where I don't think you're going to be able to stop it. It will happen. Eventually, it will be at the point where it's like, oh yeah, okay. And then everything we've gone through in the past 10 years will be forgotten. You know, when people are playing it and having the blast and the time of their life, not anybody is going to take time to remember this huge fucking journey. I will. You will. The people that have supported this when we were only like 15 million in revenue, now we're 10 times the amount at 150 million. We are 10 times the amount from where we started. Like think about that for one moment. That's freaking mind blowing right there. Like we're 10 times the amount of revenue. I'm going to remember this journey. This is a crazy journey, man. This is like one of the coolest experiences of my entire life, man. Building the everything game. We're all involved in it. I don't think you can beat that. And what Montoya is saying is right. Like he's playing Dune. He's coming back to this everything game. I'm playing Arc Raiders. Tons of Arc Raiders, having a good time. I come back to this everything game. Because Star Citizen is going to give me everything I want. That's a bunch of hopium right there. No, it's not, because I've seen it progress. I've seen where it's come from. It's already given me more gameplay than I've had when I started. I can see it when I play the game. It's fantastic, man. Flying the ships that I want to fly, pulling up on a moon, landing down on a moon, loading up things into my ship, flying off seamlessly, going to different systems. Are you kidding me? Like, what are you guys? The people that are like the doubters and the haters, I mean, they're not even playing the game. They're either listening to people that are monetizing the hatred, or they have just never played it. Like they never played it, and they're watching people that are dissing it to make a living on the hatred. It's kind of what I think is actually happening. And it's easy to see because the hatred sells. Like, the clicks aren't in the truth. The clicks and the money's not in the truth. The clicks and the money are in the hate bait and the oh my gods and the thumbnails. Those people are clicking that. They're monkey brains. We all have monkey brains. I click on that shit too sometimes. I'm doing much better though. Like, I'm telling you one thing. I'm reconfiguring the wiring in my brain. If I start seeing these crazy thumbnails like this, like I try not to click them. I don't know if anybody is doing that out there, but I highly recommend that. If you're seeing, like, unless it's my thumbnail. If it's my thumbnail, you better click it. But like, I start to see all these crazy thumbnails and I'm like, nah, this guy doesn't know what he's talking about. Right? Like, and you know what? You click into those thumbnails and you get baited into it because like you're 2-3 minutes into that video and you're like, this motherfucker doesn't know what he's talking about. Put a 1 in chat if you know what I'm talking about. That you start to see these thumbnails and you're trying to just go past it because you see the thumbnail and you're like, well, this guy obviously doesn't know what he's talking about. I want to click it. And so you do it just to test out the thesis. And then what happens? You're like 1.5 minutes or 2 minutes in and you're like, oh fuck, I fell for it again. And you realize that the guy talking has no IQ. Doesn't know what he's talking about, and it's all hype. It's like words coming out of the dude's mouth, but no substance, no quality, no truth, no nothing. And you're like, wow, this guy got like 3.5 million views, man. Like, what? Poor DG's getting choked out on YouTube. I think like 130 views with like over 20,000 subscribers. Speaking the truth. It's because I look like the Unabomber, dude. Look at me. I'm a mutant.
Always there, and it's always improving, and we're always coming back to it. That is what we paid for. This is going to be that 20 or 30-year game. It may
Right, the
even go
thesis
forever.
turns
Who
to
knows?
feces, Zab.
But I hope it does.
Right, dude.
Let's take a closer look at some breakdowns here from a great post by Greg Red. And day 13, the last day of the IAE, was 2.3 million. Insane. All right? Look at the numbers here. Total raised 33 million from this event.
Thanks for being here with me tonight,
Again, hats
everybody.
off
I
to the
feel
marketing
so much better.
department. As much as people like to criticize, they do it very well. Okay, I cannot think of
We're having
a
an
game
officer
dev
giveaway,
that will
by
look
the
at
way.
these numbers and go, "What are we doing wrong?"
Check that out.
As a dev of some other
From
game,
Woodsy and
when all these guys do
Stunner.
is spit out into spaceships and make $33 million in sales just from their spaceships. It's incredible. So let's take a look down at the breakdown he posted here, which I absolutely love. So you can see this is 2025, 24, 23, and 22. The IAE from 20.
Wow, man, this is insane. Look at these numbers, dude. This is insane, man. Check out these numbers.
2022.
IAE was a good idea.
Almost $800,000, which is incredible. But then the next year, 2 million. Next year, 2 million again. This year, 2.3 million. It is insane.
And I'm going to tell you how it can be more insane. They need to make a bigger deal out of IAE and have these places like decked out and crazy crap happening around these IAEs. Like the fact that they're putting in-game festivals, right? And lore that ties specific stories and making it an IAE event is already phenomenal. But you know what they need to do? They need to jack it up a little bit. They need to do more. Like more on IAE. Like just do crazy shit. You know, like let's figure something new out for IAE to really spice up these sales, to really bring in more people. Make the IAEs more like an actual event where people become more involved. Bring people in that, like with cameras and shit. Bring Jared to the event. Have Jared in there. Like we already know there's a fake Jared with a fake Inside Star Citizen. Actually have some of the actual crew come in and say, hey, you know what? John Crew's going to be here on Thursday for Anvil. And then have another dude with like a camera prop in the game. And Crew's there and he's talking and he's like, hey, come on over, talk to me, you know, and give out items, give out crazy limited items where Crew can actually give you like autographed, like an autographed item with John Crew on it. You got it for your inventory. You get what I'm saying? You understand? Do crazier things. That number will triple. That number will triple. IE numbers will be $6 million, man. Like, bring people into the mix. I know they're watching. Some of them are watching me now. They're like, DG, shut STFU. Just STFU right now. Are you telling me? You know what I mean? Like, bring that in and watch those numbers soar. Watch them soar.
Just from putting spaceships in a showroom, people are going in and spending their money. And that, I think, is the magic that Star Citizen has. I have yet to see another game even come close to doing anything like that at all. So looking at daily funds from the last 4 years, this is what they did on a daily basis. You can tell when the big popular ships happened. I didn't list them what they were here, but you can see that this past IAE right now, every single, not this one, but a lot of the big spikes are in yellow. They sold more this year than any previous year. Interesting stat. Cumulative funds raised. Absolutely. It's insane. Unbelievable. Here is the chart showing funds raised versus previous. And yes, unbelievable.
Wow.
Final chart here is the new accounts, which I thought were interesting.
Holy.
And I'm always kind of worried about the free fly events because the servers are usually taking a crap. But this year wasn't bad. I know there were some problems on the mission end of things, and some missions weren't spawning in properly or completing properly. But overall, it wasn't
through the
bad
roof,
experience as far as free flies go. This year has definitely improved. The stress testing that they do for free flies has definitely paid off a lot more. So you can see how the daily new accounts has grown dramatically this year compared to previous years. I think this is partly due to the servers not dying on us, but also there's just a lot more to do in the game than before.
Dude, the Clipper is an amazing.
The engineering looks spectacular. I've been watching a couple of guys playing.
Did you get the Clipper,
I haven't gone into PT
Who got
yet
the Clipper?
myself.
Put a 1 in chat if you got the Clipper.
But absolutely impressive.
Love the design.
I
love that
nothing
ship.
but praise for what CIG has managed to pull off this past
such a cool
IAE,
looking
and
ship.
looking
Did you
forward
get
to
one, buddy?
What it does towards
What's up,
the end of the year.
Zav got one.
To wrap it up, I thought this was very cool. Check out back in 2020, was it? Yeah, November, end of November 2020. Was when the Perseus concept sale took place.
You got one? Yeah,
and
that
they sold
such a great
let's call it $3 million
so
worth
different.
of
It's so
Persei
different, Diva. It's
on
like a big
that
Buick
date,
on
which
the
was
front.
incredible, which is only outdone
Boosta
later in 2023 with the RSI sales. And Best in Show for this year came close with 2.5 million. Incredible numbers. Overall, I'm very happy to see that CIG is pulling this in. Looking forward to doing the end of year review and dying to get into the $1 billion raise, but there is no game argument. You'll see me there every day having a lot of fun with it. But if you enjoy my content, give me a thumbs up, subscribe. I will catch you in the next one.
Yeah, good video by Montoya. I'm glad he took up the mantle of looking at the financials. I kind of stopped doing as much on the financials about 2 or 3 years ago. They're healthy. I was worried from the span of like 2018 to 2022. I was more worried about the financials than ever, and I had eagle eyes on the financials and kind of let that go about 2 or 3 years ago because I realized I'm like they're doing everything right. They're hitting on all cylinders. They're going the right direction, and a healthy business means a higher probability of a game that you want. That is the everything game. Simple as that. Like quite literally simple as that. And good video. Good video. I like that he's still doing that type of content.